Okay, by this beautiful note, let's move ahead to our first chapter, that is the Max Levchin, the co-founder of PayPal. PayPal was founded in December 1998, just 1998, 1999, 2000, 2001, just 3 years after I was born, by the recent college graduate Max Levchin and his fund manager Peter Thiel. Who are there? Max Levchin and the hedge fund manager. Just he, Max Levchin is the college graduate, and and hedge fund manager was the Peter Thiel. The company went through the several ideas, including cryptography software and the services transforming money via PDAs, before finding its niche as a web-based payment system. Web-based payment system. That service became wildly popular for the online vendors, especially eBay sellers who preferred it to be traditional payment method. PayPal went public on early 2002 and was acquired later that year by eBay for $1.5 billion. PayPal was started during the internet bubble, but it was in no sense a bubble startup. But it was not a bubble startup. Its success was a direct reflection of the intelligence of people who built it. Its success was a direct reflection of the people who built it. People won because people won because they built a better mousetrap. Oh my god, you should have to make a mousetrap so that herd of mouse will fall in this. People won because they are progressively able to make a better mousetrap. We are making a mousetrap for one another. Good mouse should have to fall in this. So if you look around, there are lots of mousetraps are there. With any new method of moving money comes new form of fraud. Oh, okay, that's a very nice thing. If money moves, there is a fraud system will adhere to it. Any new kind of money movement happens, there is a new fraud kind will take birth. In large part, PayPal succeeded because it could deal with fraud. Oh my god. This is their USP because it is able to deal the fraud. And its competitors couldn't. The software that Levchin and his team developed to combat fraud runs quietly and invisibly. To this day, PayPal doesn't talk much about it, but Levcin's software was just as much as the reason for PayPal's success as a more visual product like Apple II was for Apple. Livingston. Livingston. Acha, you know the full name of our author? Jessica Livingston. Okay. So Livingston is going to interview uh, Max Levchin and the Livingston, Jessica Livingston, asking a question. Tell me little about how people get started. So now Levchin means Max Levchin, who was the just a college grad, and the Peter Thiel was the hedge fund manager. So what's he asked? Tell me about how people get started. Now Max Levchin answered that the company was really not founded to do payments at all. That's very simple thing. It was not founded to do payments at all. My focus in college was security. I was more uh, conscious about how to make systems more secure. I wanted to do crypto and stuff like that. Oh my god, this is the guy who is doing crypto at that time, 1998. Can you think about the crypto boom was happened in 2010, and at those time, if the person is doing crypto from the 1998, he was actually the core member, the core peoples who are actually thinking about making the crypto. So if even a bit of the 10 Bitcoin, 10 cryptocurrency, he have brought it will now skyrocketed. I wanted to do crypto and stuff like that. I had already founded three different companies during college. I founded three different companies during college, and the year after, which I spent in Champaign Urbana, where I went to school. Then I fear, then in favor, if not favor of not doing graduate school, I decided to move out of the Silicon Valley and try to start another company in favor of not doing graduate school. He was actually decided he will not going to do graduate schooling. So I was hanging around Silicon Valley in the summer of 98 and was not really sure what I was going to do with my life. This is the same situation lots of people go through. Uh, I was living in Palo Alto, squatting on the floor of friend. I went to see this random lecture at Stanford given by the game guy named Peter, who I have heard about but never met before. The lecture turned out to have only 6 people in it. It was in the heat of the summer, so nobody showed up. This guy was like, "There are only 6 of you, okay?" Afterwards, I walked up and talked to him. He was this really intense guy, and he said, "We should get breakfast sometime." So we met up the next week. I had two different ideas that I was considering starting company around, and I pitched out on the both evenly. Peter was running a hedge fund at that time. For a few weeks, we kept talking, and eventually he said, "Take this idea because this is better. Take this idea, this is better, and you go start a company around it, and then I can have my hedge fund invest a little bit of money in it, and then I can you have a little bit of investment from my hedge fund, like a couple of $100,000, I can give you. That was a good thing since I was starting to run out of money. So I started to run, and that was a very good thing because someone is going to help me. That if you work on your idea, I will going to invest on your idea by the some few thousand, $100,000 or few $1,000. I had just moved on from the Champagne. I just moved from the Champagne. Most of my contacts and friends were in the Chicago. One of them I was trying to convince to be the CEO. He wasn't really available, so I founded up being without a CEO. I called Peter and said, "This investment is great thing, but I have no one to run the company. I am just going to write the code and recruit the coders. So I am the one who is going to write the code and going to recruit the coders." And he said, "Maybe I could be your code CEO." Peter said, "Maybe I could be your CEO. Okay." So I said, "That's a really good idea. That's a really good idea." In the next 2 weeks, we were sort of playing with the idea, and by 199, we agreed that he would be the CEO in the next 2 weeks. They were after the 2 weeks, the time passed upon, and they are playing with the idea. And on the date of the 1/1/1999, both were we agreed that he would be CEO and I would be the CTO, Chief Technical Officer. Livingston, now again new question. Jessica Livingston is asking, "How did you have the idea?" And now Max Livingston, "The initial idea was actually very different. At the time, I was really into developing software for handheld devices, which is a sort of an art and a science onto its own. And I was really into security. This idea that I had in college, which I was vaguely successful with. If you were even seen these authentication devices like a little card that spit out number at you and that you can log with it. It's like a one-time password generator, like ASCII, Digital Pathway, and CryptoCard. Most of the algorithm are the variations on the standard calls X9.9, which was the public standard. The algorithm don't really use it correctly. In the college, one day I had bought all the different kind of cards. Each cost like a 50 or $100, so it's not that expensive. They weren't that difficult to reserve engineers because you already know your standard, I think. Okay, so you know it can't be too far outside the standard. I reverse engineer most of them except for one, which was very proprietary. I dis- proprietary. I decided not to touch that one since I was too poor to handle a lawsuit. Once I got them all reverse engineer, I wrote a emulator for every single type of them for a Palm Pilot. I had a lot of friends on campus who were really into security as well. Most of them were sys admins, and they were carried a whole bunch of things in their pockets because most of the time you can only use one per computer per system. If you admin a lab with 10 servers, you would have a stack of these things in your pocket, and that adds up. They are heavy and they need batteries. Basically, emulated the whole things on a Palm Pilot, so my friends were able to throw out their stupid devices and use my thing. Okay, bye for today.